Very, very warm. Good morning. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is the 10th of March, 2026, and it's a live watch along of India versus Chinese Taipei in a matchup which will decide, or which could decide, on who finishes second in this group, which kickoff in a darker shade of red tonight, while Chinese Taipei are playing in an all-white kit. India playing from left to right. And it will be interesting to see how India operate in this game, how they try to score potentially 2 goals to win, or if Chinese Taipei continues to play their sort of game, very tight defense with India on attack on the left. But Chinese Taipei, with a missed shot cleared. That's dangerous. Maybe within the first minute. And that's a corner for... And coach Amelia Valverde didn't make any big changes per se. Panthoy in goal. Nirmala Sanju on the wings. Captain Sweeti Devi and Martina at the heart of defense. Sangeeta and Shilki in defensive midfield. Manisha, Somya, Sanfida in attacking positions, and Pyari up front. Corner for India. Could be an advantage to India. It's the post. And the keeper has it. First chance of the match for India in the second minute itself. Was it Somya? And 2-3 miscued attempts from Chinese Taipei and a VR check for a potential penalty. But the game kicks off again. That means that penalty check hasn't brought something. Chinese Taipei now on the other side with the ball in the middle. Gets it to them, to their striker, plays it across. And cleared by India, by Sweeti. Back with Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei playing their small little combination bit of football. But that ball will go to Panthoy. Quite active 2 minutes. India hitting the post, while Chinese Taipei getting into a dangerous position. India having to block. Nirmala can't get the ball out. Chinese Taipei lose the ball. Shilki plays it forward. And I'm about to say smartly done, but ball played out by Su Sin Yun. Sanfida Nongrum involved. Throw in for India. Quite a lively start to the game by both the teams. 3 minutes in. And that is something where Manisha won't be able to get to. A little bit different than usual. Manisha Kalyan, a more central position. India sometimes playing a 4-2-3-1 or sometimes a classic 4-4-2. Long ball forward, but India get the ball. Nirmala loses the ball dangerously high. Martina has to get to it. But Chinese Taipei with the ball. Ball through on the right. Chinese Taipei with an attempt. And Chen Jinwen puts it wide. Ball through. Martina can't keep up with her. And I think Panto had her fingers on it. Yeah, otherwise he would have gone in. Dangerous attempt for Chinese Taipei. Their first attempt on goal, corner, but not given. Okay. That's a weird one. Sanju loses the ball. Chinese Taipei trying to combine, play through. And throw in from Sanju. Ball back with Chinese Taipei, who build up from the back. It's been a frantic game so far. Interesting to see how the two teams settle down, because there's been no settling down so far in this game. A lot of running, a lot of action, both the sides. India intercept ball with Manisha Kalyan. Manisha Kalyan with Somya overlapping. Somya gets the ball. Somya with a shot! And that just goes wide. Somya, Gugulot. Perfect pass forward by Manisha Kalyan. Somya gets a shot off. But Wang Yuting, as a keeper, can't or doesn't step in. And that goes wide. Second attempt for in these early minutes. Goal kick from Chinese Taipei, intercepted by India. Pyari cleared by Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei combine nicely, get the ball across, but Shungita Bashfor intercepts. Ball back to Panthoy. Sorry, Nirmala. Nirmala does not get it wide to Somya. Amelia Valverde having a discussion with the fourth official and VRFs. Ball across to Chinese Taipei. India win it. India lose it. Back to Chinese Taipei, who lose it also again. Maybe a chance for India to break. But back with the defenders of Chinese Taipei. Lively game. 7.5 minutes in. Still goalless at the Chinese Taipei building up from the back. India intercept. Somya. Somya with the ball. Loses it. And then foul from her. Sangita Bashfor. Little argument with the referee, but the referee says clear it out. And yeah, that's a pull against Matsunaga Saki. Chinese Taipei build up on the left. Hanke Sin. Intercepted by Nirmala. Sweetie plays it back to Panthoy, who is under pressure. And a chance maybe for India to break. Pyari keeps the ball in. Pyari and Manisha can't get to the ball. Cleared by Chinese Taipei. We are in the 9th minute of the game. It's goalless in Sydney at the Sydney Wanderers Stadium. India win the ball. win the ball back. Good physical presence from the Indians today. And Pyari with a shot attempt. The Chinese Taipei win the ball back. And they themselves now in a counter-attacking move on the left. And that is going to be a challenge. Nirmala will not get to it. The Chinese Taipei player on the ball. Nirmala loses the ball. Chinese Taipei with the shot. Pantoy with the goal attempt. Oh, saved. That was dangerous. Chen Yu Chin just ran away from Nirmala. Good chance for Chinese Taipei. It's still goalless. 10 minutes now on the clock. Chinese Taipei doing what they're expected to do, their run-ins. Use their pace. That's a foul. No, not given. Chinese Taipei win the ball back. India win the ball back. There's a lot of winning and losing of the ball. Chinese Taipei have the ball again. But so far, India's done well. They've had two good opportunities. Yes, Sasha, good momentum to start the game. Totally agree with you. The question is, how can we get that goal on the scoreboard? Because that is going to be the question for India. Can we get that goal and then build to try and get a second? Because Chinese Taipei can play football as they're showing. Somia fighting today, doing well so far. Loses the ball. Chinese Taipei with their through ball. Ooh, that's dangerous. Sanju. Oh, that's a mistake. And that's the first goal for Chinese Taipei in the 12th minute. Su Yu Xuan with the goal. And Nitesh, India is not playing okay. Terrible mistake by Sanju. And Chinese Taipei take the lead in the 12th minute. Sanju just has to clear her lines. And that is a terrible back pass. And in that situation, just play the ball out. Why are you trying to play it back to your keeper? There's no need to play it back to the keeper when you're under pressure. Just play it out. Let the defense regroup. Why are you playing the ball that way? Enabling. Unnecessary. Yeah. Famous last words. Some momentum. We had some hope. But this will now be an uphill task because Chinese Taipei know how to defend. And we see how quick they are. And again, ball played over Sanju. Oh, that's goal words. Chin Jin Wen. Again, we see the mistake from Sanju. Chin Jin Wen just puts it in the middle. And Su Yu, who's won. Hannibal, as you say, the worst type of goal to concede. And the sad part is, why did she not just simply clear it, bang it into the side somewhere? Doesn't matter. If you are not good enough to play that ball back to your keeper, why take the risk? Why? On the attack, on the left. Pyari heads it in, but that will be a corner for India. Cleared by Chen Yin Wei. the captain. India went a chance potentially. India still with the ball. And Pyari earns another corner, this time against Su Hee Yoon. That's a good chance for India. There are 2, there are 3. Manisha Kalyan. Oh, sorry, Pyari. And there's a Taiwanese player down on the ground. And misses the first attempt. Tries a second. And it just goes over the crossbar. And as always, check for a possible penalty. Arunava Valverde. And the VR check is complete, no goal. Here, a study from Women's Euros mentioned high speed and explosive action were the biggest difference makers in game. That's the biggest challenge, lack of cognitive and physical speed. Sasha, and of course, when the opponent comes at high speed at you and, either steals the ball or puts pressure on you, you have a, so that's the problem. True that the decision making is so crap. Simple clearance could have saved us that goal. Yeah, well, sometimes the simple things, when you are not good enough in certain aspects, you have to be honest to yourself. Play the simple things. Just do, sometimes the clearance, it's not even now a thing that I will say in connection with the Indian team. Sometimes even big teams. Saw it recently with Bayern Munich, where Joshua Kimmich is trying to do a clearance where he just needs to clear the ball, but he wants to play it back to his keeper and gives an option to the opponents while Chinese Taipei are attacking on that left flank. Do the simple things easy, right? And that is something where we falter. Chinese Taipei on that left flank, playing into the middle. That is what annoys me. Oh, that's an over kicked ball by Su Sin Yun. But the coach is having a smile because he knows if they win, they will make the World Cup. At the moment, 1-0 to Chinese Taipei, but it's still 0-0 after 18 minutes between Japan and Vietnam. And Chinese Taipei, surely the more polished of the two teams when we look at this game so far. The half chances India get, they'll have to take. Oh, Sumya loses the ball in a generous position. Sweetie will have to come out. Ball into the danger zone. Cleared. Pyari, will she get to it? Yes, she will. Pyari against Chang Chi Lan. Pyari headed out. Long range attempt. No danger on the goal. Some of our players are doing decent, but the team's weakness are often such individual errors by nervous players during critical moments. Prithviraj, is it nervous moments? Is it, again, we have to mention it as harsh as it might sound, lack of quality, lack of understanding of what you need to do in that situation? I think we need to, that's the problem. And again, doing decent is not good enough at this level. That's the problem, right? If we're trying to find positives, respectfully, I'm glad that this change Avika was completely off. It's the last game. She's not even close to regular in her club. Yeah, I mean, Avika will need time. And just by saying, listen, she's training in Denmark and rarely playing in Denmark, that's also a fact. Doesn't make her a national team player. And that's also a thing, right? If our players are playing abroad, doesn't mean that they're automatically better. And experience does count. That is what I said. This team, oh, Manisha, Martina, Chinese Taipei. Another thing, they're pressing and winning the ball, but failing in finishing it. Yeah, yeah, that's it. But look at the press from Chinese Taipei and the way they win the ball. So that's the situation. India at the moment, bottom of the table without a point. Honestly, Dada, I was just trying to find positive. It's a bit hard after seeing the 11-0 instance, although it was expecting it. Rutiraj, again, trying to find positives is one of the biggest problems because we always find positives, but we don't want to talk about the negatives. And that is hurting Indian football at all fronts, right? There's always one or two positives to find. But if we don't address the negatives, if we don't do a real sort of honest SWOT analysis, nothing will happen. And you were seeing, yeah, look at the combination play of Chinese Taipei. And that should be a handball, yeah. And Shongita says it was the chest. The referee doesn't have anything of that. No, no, that was clearly the arm. And that's the problem that we have, right? Um, People are dreaming of the World Cup and we don't do the basics right. Not going to work for us. And, you know, free kick for Chinese Taipei. Manisha, Sanfida, and Pyari in the defense. It looks like Matsunaga Saki, the number 10, to take the free kick. Chips it into the danger zone, headed goal words, but easy collection for Panthoy. Panthoy, who's been our, I would say, best player of this tournament, if you ask me. Awesome that you got a chance to go to the game. At least you get to see the brilliance of the Japanese team. Good football experience. Sasha's reply to Prithviraj. Yeah, on that front, yes. I think this is one of the best Japanese teams ever. And yeah, again, we got away with our result. Let's put it this way. India with the ball. Nirmala chips it for Soumya. Chinese Taipei clear their lines for a throw-in. Su Sinyun. And a totally uncontrolled long shot. Yeah, our fullbacks have been a problem in this tournament. Sanju and Nirmala both haven't convinced me, if I'm being very honest to you guys. And there's one Chinese Taipei fan celebrating the lead of his team. Another well-known Indian channel doing a watch along on YouTube, and the comments after just doing that Japanese game. Just entering the comments. Etc. What to say? Again, it is what I've said, and I will say people don't want to hear what is true, what is real, what is, again, let's address the issues and the problems and also the negative points. But again, be respectful, right? And to me, also, I think it's very clear when I said 9 would be the minimum and we could concede up to 20 goals, nobody agreed with me. Nobody officially, formally. I know a lot of people in the back told me, yeah, Dada, sir, you're right. But in public, people were saying, oh, we might lose by 2 goals. Oh, we might lose by 3, 4, 5. Sorry, guys. You guys are doing these things for clicks. You're not doing it to inform the people. Tell them the truth, right? You're doing it for clicks. You're not being genuine. So, sorry. So, if you want quality, if you want honest truth, There's only one platform, and that's here. And good to have you here, even if we're less. Let's be an honest community. And I thank you for that. Chinese Taipei playing from the left to the right. We're in the 25th minute. It's India 0, Chinese Taipei 1. Chinese Taipei overlapping. Ooh, mistake by Martina. Sweetie steps in. The clearance cleared. Pratiraj, an answer to Sash, says, yeah, it was good experience. Got to see both games and see what technical excellence it is like. Small group of people to support, but all super passionate. And that's great, right? It's better to have a few than none at all, but yeah, that's the reality. Throw in Sanju. Scoreline was what it was. I've been on the end of someone field bashing as well, but to say things like go home coach and our players are this and that was uncalled for. Sarah, football culture we have sadly in our country, right? People call themselves football fans but don't know the decency, the basics. Nothing much to add, sadly, on that front. Throw in for India on the left. And the situation as it stands at the moment, if India wants to have a chance, maybe a chance there, India would have to, at this moment, win 3-1. And the Chinese Taipei goalkeeper is on the ground. Wang Yu Ting. Let's see what happened. Pyari with the ball in. And Sanfida. The elbow into the face. Not intentional. Getting treatment. Sanvira Nongrum. One of the finds of this tournament for India. We'll talk about the positives. And meanwhile, in the other game, Japan are leading 1-0 with Riko Ueki scoring the goal for Japan, meaning at this stage, Japan would be on 9 points. Chinese Taipei 6, Vietnam on 3, and India on 0. Referee having a word with Sanfida. Go check out some of the KO games if possible. There's going to be some Asian Women's National Football is underrated. So Sasha, Dada, post AFC, what's the next way forward for the girls in AIFF? Everett is supposed to start in 2 weeks' time as well. But the IWL senior return leg is supposed to also happen. Again, IWL 2 is supposed to be sort of a practice for some of the girls who are going to be playing AFC under 20 Asian Cup. And yeah, we don't know. Again, as I always say, the general structure of Indian football is not clear at this moment in time. So we'll have to see what happens in the next season. I'm not sure. Right? Can we build on this? Does Amelia Valverde stay? Because I don't think. I think her contract ends tonight. So, let's see. Oh, now what bravery by the Indian women playing in the Asian Cup, playing well, I must say. We all know they are better than us, but the mental fortitude knowing all the things happening back home. Yeah. Samat, it is very tough situation, and yeah, we have to respect them. Yeah. Come on, most of the people are glory hunters. They are not like us who have supported the team, both men's and women's, in the highs and lows of this game. But again, sometimes it needs to be mentioned. 20 plus minutes played. India 0, Chinese Taipei 1 at the Sydney Wanderers Stadium. And if you like what you're seeing, what you're hearing here on Arunfoot, if you haven't, do like this video, share this video, let other people join us in this conversation. And if you haven't subscribed, 3,888 is the current number. Throw in for India on the left. 30 minutes now on the clock. And big challenge for India. Someone waving the Indian flag. Certainly looks that there are more. Throw in India. Shilki. Back to Sweetie. Sweetie looking for the long ball. Chinese Taipei intercept. Play it back to the centre backs. And then try and play triangles. It's lovely to see how they get themselves out of danger by playing football. This cleared. Some Iranian fans were saying to Indian fans, they said at least the AIFF doesn't send goons to them. I said, you don't know the mess that Indian football is. We are comparing, I don't know what we're comparing with. Chinese Taipei in attack. Throw in. Samad, these discussions make no sense. The problems of the AIFF, what effect has had on the women's team? Right? With all respect, what are we talking about? A country at war, in trouble. Do you think women's origin footballers across Europe and America will be willing to sit here and play for India, or are the rules strict like the men's or the situation? Same situation, Samad. Why would the rules be different for men and women? It's the same. And yes, there are players who are willing to play for us. Hope the players gain some learnings from these experience. Facing good sides regularly with AFS conditions, something we can't expect. Hope things get better next elections. Let's see. Midfield just can't press. They need to step out and be braver to stop them playing through midfield. Yeah, but Sasha, if we can't press, we have to find other ways to solutions, right? You can see clearly, whenever we try to press, you're pulling the team apart, right? Because the whole team doesn't move as a unit. So therefore, these are some things I don't think you'll get out of the system. Long ball from Chinese Taipei. Striker has it, and that ball just misses the target. Wu Kai Ching got the long ball from captain Chen Ying Hui. Martina can't clear. And conceding the goal was a punch in the gut. Yeah, but Samat, the longer the game is lasting, the 0-1 is, sadly, I have to say, deserving. And again, we have some sort of feeling of hope. But having to now score 3 is going to be difficult. Japan still leading 1-0 against Vietnam. India behind after 34 minutes. with 0-1 to Chinese Taipei. So Sun Yun loses the ball, but India played into the back line. Sweetie, Shilki, Sweetie, Nirmala, Sweetie, Sanfida gets past one, gets past two. But that next pass, Somya wins the ball. Can they get it across? No, they can't. Sanju, Chungita, plays it back to Martina. Sweetie, Martina. Martina looking for Pyari. Can she keep it in? Yes, she can. Pyari beats her marker. Pyari in the box. But puts it wide. Yeah. And Samfida saying, play it into my feet. We should get in the box. Good link up play. But then she gets left behind. Yeah, she's not an out-and-out striker. I mean, that's also visible from her game. Ball bouncing around. India have the ball. Manisha. Plays it back to Martina. Sanju doesn't find. Let's see. That should be a red card. And let's see. I don't know. Is that a push, a shove? Yeah. Yuang Ke Sin. I don't understand. Why does she do the push? It makes no sense. And yeah, to me, it's more of a red as well. And they're discussing it at least. We'll have to see it from another angle. Free kick to India. Manisha to take it. Yuang Ke Sin. Check seems to be done. No red card given. But a free kick is given. Manisha to take the free kick. Manisha Kalyan hits the woodwork. And ooh, India with a double chance. What? Checking disallowed goal. Did the ball go in? Let's see. It's in. isn't it? Yeah, that's 100% a goal. That's a goal. That's a goal. 100% a goal. I mean, why are you checking for so long? To me, it looks clearly in. Or is there a fizzle of the ball which is not over the line? It was a brilliant free kick from Manisha. Brilliant free kick. And goal given. It's 1-1 for India. It's 1-1. What a free kick. Lovely technique from Manisha. Yeah. Thirty-ninth minute. Equalizer for India. India won, Chinese Taipei won. Meanwhile, Japan still lead 1-0 against Vietnam. Whew. 1-1. Let's see what it does with Chinese Taipei, because I remember it rattled Vietnam the other night, the equalizer. And whatever happens, we can be pleased with the good performance of the Vietnam in this game, says Sasha. Come on, let's capitalize on more such chances. Yeah, Raj. Chinese Taipei played through. Sweetie allows Pantoy to collect the ball. 42nd minute. It's 1-1 India and Chinese Taipei. If India want to have a crack at the World Cup, they need 2 more goals. India play through, but it'll be easy ball to collect 4. The keeper. Oh, yellow card to Yong K Sin. Manisha's ball hit the face of the referee. I just glanced it, because if it had hit her, she wouldn't be standing. Samad wants 2 more free kicks from Manisha. Yeah. Those free kicks in those positions, if you can get it on goal, is always an advantage, because the keepers aren't the tallest, the big in frame. There's been discussions, of course, in the game to make the goals a little smaller. Oh, Shongita in attack position loses the ball. Chinese Taipei lose the ball. India, nice combination play, cleared by Chinese Taipei. Throw in India in the 44th minute. It's 1-1. And in the other game, still Japan 1, Vietnam 0. Throw in India against Chen Ying Wei. India throw it back. Martina Shilki. Setback by Manisha. Team theoretical chance there. And India keep the ball. Sanju on the left with a cross into the danger zone. And no one will get to it. Sanju overlapping for the first time, did it properly. That's a decent cross. Somya can't get to it. And that's the problem if you don't have an out-and-out striker. 3 minutes of added time being shown by the fourth official. Yes, you would call Pyari an out-and-out striker, but at this level, height is a factor. Chinese Taipei building up from the back in midfield. Played across to Yuan Ke Sin. Yuan Ke Sin cutting in, plays it out to the wing. Ball across. Oh, lands on the netting. Lucky there, Panthoy. Chen Yu Chin. Supposedly across, but the ball gets longer and longer and lands on the net. Dangerous. India win the ball in the middle. And they keep it. Shilki under pressure. Plays it to Sanju. Pyari. Chungita, nice ball. Manisha on the wing. Manisha beats a marker. Manisha into the middle, but into the arms of goalkeeper Wang Yu Ting. Is this the moment Manisha needed? That goal to play a stronger competition? Ball across Chinese Taipei. That is someone in, and important clearance from Panthoy against Chen Yu Chin. Ball through again. Nirmala beaten. Yeah. Luckily, the first touch wasn't too good, but Panthoy clears the ball. Ball from Su Yi Yun over Nirmala. Actually, the touch wasn't that bad, but it's just a little too strong. And still, she got a shot off. Ooh, and hit the face of Panthoy. Yeah, that's a save. And keep up in the second half. We can maybe. Yeah, well, then let's see. This is one of those crazy games now where both the teams, whoever, I mean, if India can score a second, yeah, but if Chinese Taipei score a second, maybe most probably it's then over. Japan, Vietnam already halftime. And can't lose her. That's very, very clear. But at the moment, how can we go to the knockouts if we win this game? Surya, if we win this game, we finish second. At the moment, we finish second. Oh, Panthoy. Mm. That's not very confident what Panther is doing in those tests. She's not, she's wobbling. Best thing that can happen to her is that we get into halftime. Yeah, okay. So Surya, we need to win by 2 goals and hope that Japan beat Vietnam. Otherwise, even if we win, so we have to win 3-1 or 4-2 or 5-3, whatever. And then do we need it to? Yes, we need to, because Vietnam beat India 2-1 and Chinese Taipei beat Vietnam 1-0. Not the first, so we conceded hurts a bit. Yeah, it does. Depends on this game now. Please, we win. Yeah, let's see. That's a corner for Chinese Taipei. No, Hannibal, we need to win 3-1. Because if we win, India, Chinese Taipei, and Vietnam would go head to head. And on the head to head, we need to be ahead of the others. First corner for Chinese Taipei. We're ready in the 52nd minute. Penalty. Pyari's face, I think, says it all. Oh, yeah. There's no. Damn! That's no discussion. That arm is away from the body. Yeah. And Pyari's face says it herself. She knows. Yeah. Penalty for Chinese Taipei in the now 53rd minute. Crazy half of football. Su Yi Yun against Panthoy, who got a knock against her head. Panthoy, I hope she's clear. Su Yi Yun, the number 9 to take the penalty against India, is still in the first half, already the 53rd minute. Oh, that's the worst of luck you can have. Panthoy saves it, puts it on the post, and the back of the head puts it in. Doesn't save it, but yeah. The ball hits the post, then the arm. And the Chinese Taipei coach is praying to the gods. Damn. It's halftime. Yeah, well, then Gary is close to tears. Psychologically, the worst possible time to concede. I mean, what the wrong with us? Everything is happening against us. Oh my God, says Hannibal. Bad luck for India. Both goals are gifted by Indian players. ये सब उस कल्याण के वजह से. Hannibal, no. No, as sad as it is, um, some of the stuff is not bad luck or whatever. Kumar says both are gifted. Yes, then they're not gifted. It's at some stage, it's also a lack of quality which we have to address, which I said earlier in the game, right? Um, yeah, sorry. So, yeah, what to say? The less I say, the better. Let me just quickly put out a tweet, guys. You're fine with that. Sorry, just putting on a tweet. Let me do that. And I am back. Yeah, what to say? I'll be Kalan Chol for everything bad happening in my life, even though I know he doesn't have anything with them. Passing aggressive six is never going to be good enough. That's also, no, we need to put ourselves in such position to get lucky. Luck just walk towards someone by itself. Yeah. I know why the women do not put back hands like men while defending. Kumar, I mean, I don't know if you know, and it's not a men's and a women's thing. I don't know why you're doing that. Some people put their hands, but in that position, was she alert enough to recognize that a shot might be coming her way? It doesn't look to me like that, right? So therefore, too easy to say that. India does look like they can score more here, unlike the last game. Yeah, if they score with two, will India qualify? No. Aman, we need to win 4-2. India's playing better than against Japan. Hitesh, I mean, you know, what are you comparing? You're comparing one of the best teams in the world and our performance against them, where we were lucky to lose 11-0 and not 15-16. And I'd warned. I'm the only one who warned. The whole world said, oh, you know what? Oh, no, no, no. We'll lose by 2, by 3, maybe by 5. Right? So therefore, these are realities, right? Anisha Kalan helped a lot in attacking this match. No, she didn't, Kumar. I don't know what match you watched. No, she didn't. Because she didn't move into the positions where she needed to be. Because she's not an out-and-out striker. She's a winger. But in this team, she's needed as an out-and-out striker or as an attacking option. And she didn't move into those spaces because we saw in those 2-3 attempts where someone put in a cross into the box, there wasn't someone in that number 9 position. Women doesn't have quick reaction, a bit like men's do skill issue. No, I don't think so. For which club Manisha plays for? She plays in Peru for Alianza Lima. So therefore, these men's, women's comparisons, in my opinion, never make sense. Never make sense because to me, the quality that there is of different level and yeah, best player of the first half. From attacking intent, I would have said Somya, but overall, I guess would be Panther. Because what you're forgetting when you're talking about the attacking opportunities and chances, you are not talking about also that Chinese Taipei could be now 4 or 5 goals up, right? India could have had 3, but Chinese Taipei could have had 5. So therefore, these are some of the realities that you need to keep in mind. As much as we put our India specs on, Chinese Taipei are better than us, period. I sadly have to accept that. We're giving them a great fight, and here and there, a little bit of luck here and there, whatever can happen. But they're better. They are better than us. I have to accept it. You are, if you like it or not, right? So that's the reality. It's funny to say, but the fact that the field is so good makes the game too fast for us. Yeah, maybe that it's the quality of the ground. Maybe it's also the watering of the ground. But again, this is something which is Chinese Taipei is going to be. How did I call it yesterday in the Twitter space? They're like they're like robots with a battery. Like they run, and that's your problem. But I want Amelia to stay with this team and build for next AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. Hannibal, who's going to pay for it? You know, again, I would like that as well, but I think a contract ends tonight. Both wingers are just randomly putting crosses. Nobody's in the box and the players are in the box. Kumar, yes, but you're trying to play the ball. Why? Because you're hoping that someone will get there. Because what the other thing to do as a winger then is to turn around and play it back. Yeah. Both of the fullbacks, yes, they are exposed very, very badly. Kalyan Chaudhuri gonna pay for it. Yeah, exactly. Kalyan will pay for all of it. That's easy for him to do that. But for us, so far, great fight, great determination by the girls. I have to say that. But again, you know, you've got those situations, those small little things, um, where quality or lack of quality sort of shows itself, right? And yeah, that's the sad part so far. But overall, great fight from India, and you know, so um, we'll have to see what we can do. But we have to be better. In second 45, we need to be better in this game. What's the current scenario we want to qualify? RSC game, we need to score 3 goals. Very simple. At the moment, we need to score 3 goals and hope that Vietnam don't equalize against Japan. Because if Vietnam equalize against Japan, um, yeah, we're out of it. Normally, wingers will delay to put cross in the box until forward makes run. Why would you put the cross in the box? That is what is my question. Kumar, because the forwards are not making the runs, right? Fullbacks repeat mistakes almost all matches are costing us. Raj, totally agree. I think if Amelia had been brought in earlier, the defense would have been much sharper than it is now. Sasha, how will it be sharper? Because the mistakes that you're seeing from a Sanju and from a Nirmala will not go away. There needs to be an understanding. You're a coach yourself. There is, for some players, there is a certain level of ceiling of where you can get better. You can get better, by 5-10%. Maybe some players, um, you can maybe get 20 out of them. But there's not that much of a development curve for us where we can, get, I don't know, 100% more of the players. That's a problem. And then Amelia has already shown, if you look at the team in October, December, where it is now in March, it's a much better team. Can you get much more? Yeah, let's see. How was the first half? I didn't watch it. RSC game, it was an interesting, insightful game. And a lot of chances at the start at both ends. Very active a game. And India had a couple of good chances in the first 10 minutes. Same has to be said about Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei go ahead, seem to control. Then we have that Manisha free kick, which is brilliant. VR has to confirm the goal. Then, yeah, Pyari handball. And earlier it was a Sanju mistake, which allowed Chinese Taipei to put themselves up 1-0. And then you have here the situation, penalty, and yeah, penalty, a little unlucky. Pantoy. So the ball hits the post, and then Pantoy's arm, and then sort of slowly moves in. And it could have stayed 1-1, but at the moment it looks tough for India as I see it. There is no full backs apart from current playing lot. Yeah. No. Again, and Amelia has been watching the players. Again, it's an interesting one that despite the criticism we've had, that Kyari, Somya still starting, even Sangita. So it means she doesn't seem to see options. Only was the Manisha goal. Yes. Not only, again, India did have chances. Somya had a few good moves herself, but otherwise, yeah. I come to realize that Indian football mostly heartbreaks for me, but that is what I guess. Yeah, Surya, our players' match awareness is a concerning part. The most I see over years, opponent comes from behind, takes away possession. Yeah, Raj. And in the women's game, it's even worse because what you're seeing is that in these kind of games, um, you know, that when you're put under pressure, either you don't realize that there's someone and they sneak away with the ball, or you do realize and then you make a mistake. It's very dangerous. We under pressure, we're a problem. So let's see. We will have to face Japan again in U20. Help, says Hannibal. But it did seem good in some moments, but fullbacks have been consistently poor. Yeah, Prithviraj, very true. Pyari looked better today. So let's see. Right wingers is joining track back the Chinese players when she knows the player is going to pass other Chinese Taipei player. Does she know? I mean, Kumar, you're making assumptions, right? India to make a substitution. In more such matches to get used to this pressure, otherwise we'll never prove this way. Prithviraj, the question is again, and this is the brutal question that I've asked now multiple times, and I will ask again and again: is are we in a position to improve, right? And same for the men's football. Yeah, I don't think that if we play better matches on a regular basis, we'll improve. Rimpo Haldar, getting ready to come on, because to me there is a ceiling of how good we can be, and then we have to be honest to ourselves, right? It today it looks like we're challenging, or we were challenging, like it looked like against Vietnam. But then those games need to favor us. When games don't favor us, show me a Google goes off, Rimpo Halda comes on. Then we have a situation like the Japan game, right? And unlike the men's, the positives about the women's is that we were able to score 2 goals, right? The first one was good, yeah, by Sanfida, but today's goal was even better. Japan scores second. Well, that makes it clear for India that 3 goals, and that's the World Cup for us. What's for the men's 31st of March final AFC Asian Cup qualifier against Hong Kong, China, I have to say. I call as we have kickoff, Chinese Taipei from left to right, India from to right to left, India in the attack. And the women's, I don't know if we're playing anyone in the April window, or are we playing anyone in the June window? So I wouldn't know any matches for the women's lined up. India building up on the right. Play to left, Sanju. Sanju and Shilki with the shot. Totally miscued. Goal kick for Chinese Taipei. And if you haven't, do like, share, and subscribe Arun Foot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias at arunfoot.com and Arun. Yeah, support me on all my thanks socials. Thanks a lot for that. India in attack. Manisha. Manisha with the ball. Manisha. Can't keep it on target. There's more of a Lalinzwala Changte move with her left leg. Tries to curl it goalwards, but the ball curls outwards. Why are qualities looking almost same or just below, unlike in Japan game? Way too long. Raj, Japan is a world-class side. Chinese Taipei, and in the women's game, I think we've got 5 teams. Oh, that's a good through ball. India has to be careful. Chinese Taipei made a chance for a third. Chinese Taipei with chance for a third. And puts it wide. Chin. But it's offside, given in the end. Is it really that we're looking almost the same? That is my question. We look the same in phases, but are we looking the same in 90 minutes? And that is going to be the question. Because the game is decided not in 5, 10, 15-minute blocks, but it's decided in 90 minutes, and the result speaks a different language. Nirma. And is it too long? Manisha. Throw in. Chinese Taipei played via their keeper. Nice through ball. Ooh, won't get to it. Would have put pressure on India because Sanju had moved up. Throw in for India. Goes over Sanfida's head. Shilki loses the ball. Chinese Taipei keep the ball. Played wide. Sanju has to recover. Ooh. Wang Kesin, the left back, in the box. And Chinese Taipei putting pressure on India. And Sweetie goes down. That's not good. That's not good. Sweetie down. If you look at the motor skills of our players compared even to Chinese Taipei, it's night and day. Yeah. Poor athleticism. Yeah. You see the movements, right? Look at number 17 again. And we're all over the place. Nirmala doesn't even know where she is. Right? And Sweetie is up again. But I think Chinese Taipei are now going for the kill. I think a third goal would seal the game. India now, very important phase to be careful. Sanju. Cleared. Sanju throw in. Shilki. Back to Martina. Sweetie. Seems to be playing through pain. That wasn't a clear ball. India win the ball. Lose it again. Throw in for Chinese Taipei. Pyari has shifted over to the right with Rimpo Haldar on the left. Sanju. Chinese Taipei win the ball. You have to be careful, India now. Ooh, important clearance from Martina. And Prithviraj answers Sasha, great that you pointed out. I've also noticed in other Indian women's teams like hockey and even cricket to a large extent I play against teams with good athletic base. Yeah, very true. And Chinese Taipei and given as offside against Chen Yu. Yeah, in the moment of play, she was offside. Chinese Taipei can see the throw in. 52.5 minutes played. It's India 1, Chinese Taipei 2. And as earlier said, Japan, after 59 minutes, are leading 2-0 against Vietnam. Maika Hamano with the second goal. Pyari won't keep it in. Goal kick. As an answer from Sasha to Prithviraj, it's unfun but true, and it's not the player's fault. Those motor skills come from playing multiple sports and train, none of which our players have had, sadly. Yeah. That's why that sometimes looks a little stocky, no? When they play, and these Southeast or East Asian teams look, much better in those sort of motor skills which you named. Chinese Taipei on the left. Oh, control the ball. Oh, that's another flick on. That's a lovely through ball. That is a good save from Pantoy. And corner. Chen Jin Wen blocked. Good through ball. Pantoy with her arm. Button alert. Chen Yu Chin plays it back. But that was blocked. Corner for Chinese Taipei to be taken by their number 10, Matsunaga Saki. .54.5 minutes on the clock. Cleared by India. That should be offside. Yeah, offside given. Sanju. Rimpo Haldar. But more goes out. Throw in for Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei at the back line. India trying to create pressure. Chinese Taipei trying to overplay the lines. India clear. Chinese Taipei with the through ball. It's to be cleared. India. But India lose the ball, Pyari. Back with Chinese Taipei. India has to do more. Counter-attacking chance. Sanfida. Looks like Manisha. Ball doesn't get there. But back with India. Sanju. Rimpo. Shilki. Nutmegs a player. Don't clear it properly. Rimpo cross into the box. Cleared by Chinese Taipei, who themselves were on a counter-attacking move. Martina plays it back to Sweetie. Sanju out to Rimpo Haldar. Rimpo plays it through. Sanfida doesn't make the run, but gets to the ball. Is going to win a throw-in for India. For example, I visited FC Midtjylland, Danish club, a couple years ago, and they had a ballet to start working players 15 minutes after training. Yeah, flexibility. These girls are walking final third. Hannibal, we're playing without a striker. We're playing up without an out-and-out striker. And we have the same problem in the women's game as in the men's. We don't have an out-and-out striker in there. And that is a problem which is hurting us. Valdar plays it out. Goal kick. For Chinese Taipei, 57 plus minutes. The keeper is down. She's holding her head. Okay. Okay. Doctor showing this one. I guess that is their sign of saying that she's on. She stays on. Doing the same tests as the Indians did a little earlier. Oh, substitution sign now. Substitution sign for the Chinese Taipei goalkeeper. I guess it was that situation in the first half with Sanfida where her elbow hit her. I guess it's that. And S.Y. Chen. S.Y. Cheng, the number 23, getting ready to come on. For number 1, Wang Yu Ting. The number 1 keeper doesn't seem to be in the best of state. And yeah, they're showing the scene again in the first half where she got the elbow from Sanfida against the head. Yeah, that was quite a heavy impact. Chinese Taipei trying to play the ball through, but it will only reach Pantoy. As was just shown in the replay, she got the elbow from Sanfida on her head, and it looks like that impact so harsh that she now had to be substituted. India with the ball in the middle of the park. Shilki with some space finds Rimpo Haldar. Rimpo Haldar in the middle plays it to Shungita. Nirmala. Oh, Nirmala loses the ball. Chance for a counter-attacking move for Chinese Taipei. But Nirmala recovers at least. Chinese Taipei with the ball. Chinese Taipei play that to the backline. Ball through to one of their strikers. And Chinese Taipei nicely combined. India allowing them too much of space. It seems like the third goal is about to happen. Oh, mistake again from Sanju. And that's the third for Chinese Taipei. Game, set, and match. Suyu Swan. Or is it offside? Let's see. It's come from an opponent. No goal. Linda Com coming on for Shilpi. Shilki. It's offside. And it looks like a concussion injury thing because they were doing the testing and all, and the keeper was doing this. India with a get out of jail card. Linda. Chinese Taipei with the ball, clearly in charge of this game. India, what can they do? Forward, Rimpo Haldar. Rimpo loses the ball, wins the ball again. And that ball. Rimpo Haldar. We have to do more. And meanwhile, Japan has been on a goal-scoring spree. It's 4-0 against Vietnam with Aobi Fujino and Kiko Saike scoring. And that would take Vietnam out of the playoff spots. They could have allowed a -2, would have worked in their favor, but a -4 won't. Ball through, India clear. Shungita looking for a through ball, cleared. Mala header. Back with Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei again, an overlapping move, beaten. Sanju ball in the middle. Nobody luckily there. Nirmala. And that ball's going to go out. 65 minutes played. India 1, Chinese Taipei 2. It is still in theory possible, even though it looks tougher and tougher. India may with the counter-attacking move, if they can do it fast. Pyari being blocked. Pyari beats a woman, sorry. India keep it. Well done by India. Ball across to Sanju. Rimpo Haldar. Rimpo. Manisha. Shongita. Nirmala. Dangerous position, but the keeper has it. And Pyari goes down. Yeah. Not a foul. And if it's a foul, it's a foul on the Chinese Taipei player by Linda before that. India have the ball into the danger zone. No. Overcooked by Rimpo Haldar. India 1, Chinese Taipei 2. If India want to qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup next year in Brazil, we will need 3 goals in a little over 20 minutes. India clear their lines. Ball with Chinese Taipei. We're controlling proceedings at the back. India depending on counter-attacks. That second goal, that penalty, seemed to have killed a little bit of the enthusiasm of the Indian team. No momentum. Chinese Taipei. And that's a foul. On Su Yi Yun. Now keeper Wang Yu Ting. There's an ice pack on her neck. Neck or side of the face. Nearly 69 minutes played in Sydney. India clear. Chinese Taipei throw in on the right. Chinese Taipei through ball. Pantoy has it. 70th minute. Pantoy, who's had overall very good tournament. Did have her mistakes in those friendlies before the tournament, but has been rock solid overall. As Chinese Taipei try and build up from the back. More bothered about ball control. Oh, that's a long ball. That is through in the box. In the box. And Martina Tokchom has a foot in the way. against Chen Jinwen. That's another piece of combination football from Chinese Taipei. And India clear for a throw-in. Yeah, the East Asians are working towards their third goal. They want to ensure their qualification for the quarters. Not only that, but also for the World Cup. That's the big thing. Keep it in play. Oh, that's an lucky escape for India. Su Yu Zuan. Looked like it had been overcooked. Kept in. And then somehow India don't concede. Corner for Chinese Taipei, 72nd minute at the Sydney Wanderers Stadium. Played short at the end of the box. Back again into the danger zone. Pantoy drops it. Foul given on the keeper against Su Sin Yun. Yep, that was a foul. India in attack, but Chinese Taipei clear their lines. What foul? Offside given? Yeah, offside given by the lineswoman on the far corner. Feels like at the moment the Indian team is not believing in their chance of qualifying for the World Cup. Sort of given up. Maybe they're also tiring. Because again, overlap. Again, Sanju beaten, but cleared by Martina. Sanfida loses the ball. That's a nice move forward. Martina will have to cover! And just wide from Chen Jiwen. One of the best for Chinese Taipei. Once more, she beats an Indian defender. But again, Sweetie covers and puts a little pressure on her. Chen Jiwen, the winger on the right, caused a lot of problems for Sanju. And just be careful. Ball back to Panthoy. Sanju. Covering meters. Martina clears. Sanfida. Chinese Taipei head out on the right. Nicely. Somehow keep the ball, lose the ball, keep the ball. India win the ball. Martina. One thing I've learned as a coach over the last 20 years is you have to give the players what they need. In our case, Amelia could be more vocal and intensive on the sideline. With a more experienced team, you can take a step back and observe more than instruct. Yeah, Sasha, the question is, what kind of a coach is she? No, wouldn't know enough about that um, to be able to say anything about that. Um, Chance for Chinese Taipei to counter, but India already is in defensive shell. But they play from left to right. Oh no, through ball. That is a chance, and that will be the third, and that is game, set, and match Chinese Taipei. Chin with a third. And that most probably confirms Chinese Taipei's journey to the World Cup. Lovely through ball. It's not offside because Sanju plays the player onside. Player beats it. And Panthoy, and I don't know who she ran into. That's a brutal foul from Panthoy on Sweetie. And I think both of them will be hurt in that. Oh, Sweetie bangs the head on it. That looks bad. That looks really bad. I hope both of them are fine. Great run and pass for the goal. Brilliant through ball, Sasha. Very simple through the middle. And the little hopes we had for India to make it to the World Cup are now gone. Panthai, that is. Yeah, I hope both of them are okay. It doesn't look good at all. Oh, God. That looks serious for both Panthai and. Oh, God. Yeah, she's broken. Yeah. Sasha, there is. On this side, there is surely something broken. And goalkeeper has to be changed. That doesn't look good, both for Pantoy as well as for Sweetie, two of the most dependable players in this team, the captain and the number one, Shreya Huda getting ready. And that looks really bad for both the players. As Chinese Taipei make two substitutions. That impact looked really, really brutal and not good. And once more, a reminder to those of you who are watching, if you're liking this watch along, liking what we're talking about, do leave a like and share it with other people. And of course, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, knee to the face. And with Sweetie, I think it's also the shoulder. General medical staff have come in. That's when you see it. It's a brilliant through pass. Panther gets back in the ground. The problem is for Sweetie, that's not the knee contact. It's she banged the side of her body. You see our experienced staff on the India bench. Looks very, very serious. Smithy being transported off the ground on a stretcher. Panther also being put on a stretcher. Clock for the Indian team. And they show the goals again. Mistake from Sanju. Brilliant equalizer from Manisha. Chinese Taipei was smart. Looks really bad. Panther is being transported off. Sanju's off as well. Triple substitution for India. Yeah, I think the injury is both bad for. Yeah, I think the injury is bad for both the keeper and for Sweetie. Difficult one now for India. Julie Kishan also now back. India on the right. And that's a ball across. But again, no problem for Cheng. Yeah, it's a difficult moment for India. I think the loss, I think we live with, but the injury to two key players. There's a crash, horrible crash between Sweetie and Panther. Chinese Taipei in the box and cleared by Julie. Julie Kishan does well to recover, not to allow the shot to come on. Corner for Chinese Taipei. India 1, Chinese Taipei 3. India clear. And maybe a chance for a counter attack. Blocked by Chinese Taipei. Still India with the ball. Foul from India. Sanfida. Or rather, not a foul, but a shot on the head. That's a knockout. On substitute, Teng. Next injury. Not a head injuries today. Yeah, another head injury. Seems to be topic of the day, sadly. India. Cross cleared by Taiwan or Chinese Taipei. India get in the middle. Chaudhuri. Oh, slips over the ball. Plays it back to Martina. Nirmala. A cross headed out. Oh, that's another head injury. And Chin Wen gets a yellow card. Oh, no, not a head, but rather, yeah, dangerous play. This is not a match. It's a concussion back and forth. Yeah, the Belgian, and you know what, the interesting part on that is that it's not even a rough and tough game, right? It's not that both teams are playing dangerous football or anything. It's just, it's things that happen in the moment. Shouldn't happen, do happen. And yeah. Free kick, long distance, and there is a certain Manisha Kalyan standing over the ball. Can Manisha do a second? Manisha Kalyan. No. Oh, that ball had a weird bounce after being deflected. Cleared by a substitute goalkeeper, Cheng. Oh, yeah. Very weird spin on the ball. Corner for India. 89th minute. Cleared by Chinese Taipei. Manisha beats a marker and wins a free kick. Goes to the corner post, and that's a yellow card for Chen Yu Chin. And the time brings down. Manisha Kalyan to take the free kick. Will she try direct or will it be indirect? The free kick. Manisha Kalyan over the ball. That's good. And a great save from substitute keeper Cheng. Yep, that would have gone in. That's a good one-handed save. Corner for India. Little overcooked. It's the post. Ball back into the danger zone. No, behind the goal. Manisha Kalyan. Chinese Taipei with 2 substitutions. Two substitutions, and by conceding 4 goals, Vietnam are out of the competition. Japan Vietnam ends 4-0, and India lose the ball, win the ball again. Martina plays to Nirmala. Throw in for India. I think Manisha gets another move in the summer. This has at least been a good way for our players to advertise themselves. Yeah, let's see, Sasha, if she gets a move somewhere or she stays in Peru for the year. Mansuri John's a really good game apart from injuries. Yeah, Prithviraj. But again, we had our chances, but if we look at the opponent, they also had theirs. And in the end, 3-1 is a fair result. Could have been 5-3, could have been maybe 7-5. But Chinese Taipei had those opportunities, but they deservedly win this. We at least gave them a fight. Oh, the goalkeeper, Cheng, has it. Kavya. Six minutes of added time in this game. Throw in India. Already nearly 3 minutes down the clock. India in the back line, trying to clear their lines. India clearing from the back. Chinese Taipei intervene once again. First pathetic defense, second only 1 goal scored, missed a lot easy chances. Next time over to Asian Cup, first tournament with 3 left. Yellow card. Substitute. You know, Shanata, this way, if you make an analysis like this, it is too easy. It is too easy to say, oh, you know what, this is a mistake. That football is a game of mistakes. And again, as India could have had luck here and there. Chinese Taipei could have scored 6-7, and you couldn't have said anything against it. That is also the reality of things. Xavier looks like a better, more modern fullback. Wonder why she hasn't played more. Yeah, Sasha, good question. The coach didn't gamble. I thought she would gamble today and give some of the younger girls a chance, but she didn't. Free kick. Again, Manisha long range into a danger area. India still at the long range over from Nirmala. Yellow card to Manisha Kalyan. Yeah, Manisha. That is, yeah, already over the 6 minutes. Hindsight, this 2020, but my strongest lineup would be, yeah, Manisha is truly different. And that's the end of the game. And I don't think Chinese Taipei realize that they've qualified for a FIFA World Cup because they're not really celebrating. 3-1 against India on the night. And much too different. And yeah, Kavya seems better. Maybe Sanjay explains what makes her start. Was it really good when she comes on? Raj, it's over, but what is it? But good fight at the end, but mistakes cost us there. Yeah. Vietnam and Chancellor were winnable if only our players have had a good season. The mistakes that we done throughout the tournament, mistakes that a seasoned player wouldn't do. Sujal, the mistakes were done by seasoned players. So I don't know how much more seasoned players you want. Sanju is a seasoned player to me. For me, there was a fighting spirit, but not enough. Yeah, Raj. I mean, again, we can, whitewash all of the mistakes and this and that and everything. Again, you guys are not asking the question of quality, right? Chinese Taipei. If you tell me today match was winnable, maybe, right? Was the match potentially winnable against Vietnam? Maybe. Did the better teams in those two matches win? Yes. You know, and we are not good enough at this level. So we have to be honest to ourselves that this team's not good enough for this level of football. And does it make a difference of XYZ players or not? It doesn't. Sorry, right? Same story. So poor first touches. You will never win against better sides with this quarter. You can bring the best of coaches and give international exposure. Yeah, Uchut. The point to me is very simple. That this match today highlighted, I think, perfectly highlighted for me the issues and problems that there are. Um, our football basics are not good enough. We are tactically not good enough. We're technically not good enough. Um, yeah, and to me, um, I felt Chinese Taipei didn't even have to play 100%, and that's why this Raj, I don't see this was match was winnable, but got hope for at least a draw. To me, it looked like, you know what, I can up the tempo, right? And yes, the goals, the first one, clear cut mistake. Second one is unlucky. Third one is class. Then I go back to the Vietnam game, right? So um, this was a high level to play in. It's great exposure, again, for all the girls. The question is, what do we learn? How quickly do we learn, right? What do we take out of this, and what can we implement in our game to move forward, right? What lessons do we learn? Because yeah, in the end, 3 games, 3 losses. Yes, we did score 2 goals, um, but we conceded 16. That speaks a clear cut language, in my opinion, and that puts us sadly there where we are. And yeah, Vietnam, like us, out of the tournament, and crazy. But I don't call them seasoned when they're coming of playing a 1 month league, playing 5 7 games until this has happened when everybody knew that we were an Asian Cup coming up, Shimon AIFF. Sujal, seasoned. Do you know what the mean seasoned means? A seasoned player doesn't mean you play X, Y, Z matches in a season. A seasoned player means that he or she has played X number of years in the system, right? The question is 5, 7 games is good enough? No, on one side it's not. How many matches did they play for the national team in the friendlies? Not little. But there is the question, which again, I don't know if I'm talking to myself sometimes. Even if they played 30 matches this season, do you think the mistakes would have been less? There are mistakes in our basics. These girls could play the next 5 years, 30 matches each. Some of those mistakes will never get out of their system because it is ingrained in their system. The same problem that we have in the men's or the boys' teams. Right? That the AIFF has not done a good job, that's a different conversation altogether. But if you think that if they played a few matches more, that they would be, oh, you know what, we can compete at this level. Then, I don't know what level of Delulu we're talking about. We have to wake up to realities, guys. This is the outcome of the work that's been done at grassroots and youth level. We should have a word about grassroots and youth level in Indian football. Anybody working at grassroots and youth level needs to question him or herself. Or we need to put them on a sticking board and say, what have you done? Because you've not done what is needed to prepare these players for this level of competition. That is the conversation we need to have. Everybody working in Indian grassroots and youth football should question him or herself, or some of them should leave their jobs immediately because you're not good enough. You're the problem. You are the problem. People working in grassroots and youth football. Oh, I am offering my time and this and that. No, you're not good enough because you can't teach the kids the basics. Get out of Indian football. That is the answer, guys. If I see all this, oh no, we tried and all of that. No, let's analyze. Let's introspect. Because you now, as always done, we are trying to pick up the small little things that are good. But the vast things which are bad, we will not talk and discuss. Because that's forgotten, right? So what's the point? Every game we lost in the midfield and wings because when our midfielders can't control simple balls, pressures on defense, wingers don't even know what they're doing. Yeah, wing backs. The wing backs were an invitation to attack. Sorry, yeah, that's right. I'm saying this from the day I started understanding something about football. Our basics are the biggest problem. Receiving, passing. No coach in the world will teach you this. It's work of grassroots junior level coaches. Raj, this is being done. You know what the crazy thing is? This has been done at national. Stephen, I remember Stephen used to do this in his first stint. Bob Houghton used to work on the basics. And those guys says, you know what? Let's play a simple 4-4-2. Let's not try out anything because I'm not going to get more out of these players. Right? The only decent level Asian player in this team is Manisha, Sweetie, and Pantoy. Mark words, decent means Asian level second. Yeah. Right? And that is the problem. We lack the quality. We are playing a tournament. Sorry. We do not deserve to be amongst the 12 best nations in Asia. We finished 12th in this competition. I'm thinking about under 20, under 17, what scoreline will be Japan, North Korea. Raj, and that's the thing. People tell me, you know, the next generation is better, this, that. No, the next generation is getting worse and worse. Sorry. Manisha was not good, Hitesh. Because you will say good because the free kicks were good. No. Lack of positional sense. Right? She's supposed to be our best player. I said clubs should take the responsibility of women's football. No, they're not, Mahesh. And this is another thing. If clubs don't want to do it, don't force them. Let the clubs who want to do it, do it. That's better. This is also some rubbish that I've seen in Europe, which is counterproductive for the development of women's football. Because the women's football then, as a game, does the mistakes that the men's game have done. Listen to our Twitter space yesterday. We discussed a lot of these things. POF as touches India grassroots football has been a perennial problem since time immemorable. Yeah, Uchut. Also in those glory days and this and that, everything, the touches were never good. And that is exposing us left, right, and center. Sir, calm down. Again, let's have hope আপনি একটা কথা বুঝুন, কাল্যাণ নির্লজ্জ রিজাইন করবে না, come what may. Rahul, it's not a Kalyan Chaubey problem. It is the whole system. If you're going to say Kalyan Chaubey is your only problem, right, then there is no point of discussion, right? This is the reality of where we stand, right? I like a lot of blame lies with the AIFF, but the club should also be held. No, not a lot of blame lies with the AIFF, Sasha. The AIFF is supposedly getting the final product, and then they mold the final product into national teams. The AIFF is supposed to do grassroots, it's supposed to do youth, it's supposed to do everything. Which the AIFF, yeah. Is Manisha a defender? No, she's an attacker. If Manisha was good, then I'm Messi. Says, as well as coach education report, I've been told to keep aside what I've learned abroad because this is India. Yeah, exactly, Sasha. The system doesn't want to change. If people come in and want to make changes, the system doesn't want to change. Ask those guys what that is teaching the kids. Motivational, what is it? Pep talk, motivational talk, pep talk, and all that stuff that is the dose that is needed to take Indian football to the next level. All rubbish. After September is qualified, we need to take baby steps. Hitesh, baby steps are not good enough, right? This is, if you call baby steps, sorry, then that is naive. We need to take giant leaping steps. Otherwise, again, this will be the last AFC Asian Cup in the women's game that will play for a very certain period of time because other nations are getting better. We used to dominate SAF about a decade back. Everyone, minimum 4 or 5 goals. Where are those days gone? Right? Our junior level, I was Bojana. Yeah. Manisha had a poor Asian Cup. Her level has gone down. Uchud, yeah. My feeling. But that will now be discussed differently because of that goal. Rimpo and Safida should promise. How much, Ritesh? Right? This word promise is for me very dangerous because we did that at the under 23s men's team as well, right? Sanfida is being talked about because of that goal. What did she do? Today she was all over the place. Very difficult. For me, Manisha has a problem taking too much time on ball, selfishness, lost possession. Might be. Who was better in this match? Indian side. Aman, the usual suspects. Pantoy, Sweetie would have been my choices. Men and women players are not physically strong in physical sports. Okay, Mahesh. Our defenders are very poor doing such blunders in important matches. Poor. Again, Nongrum, Sweetie, Manisha Rimpo, all these are young players. These are far better technique than seniors. The juniors are not worse. Sujal, Sweetie is not a junior. Manisha is not a junior. And you're telling me that Rimpo and Nongrum can play football? Then it's no point of a discussion. It's the same thing when you're going to tell me that Suhail in the men's game is better than the XYZ, which his own coach doesn't think. He now thinks that even other players in his team are better than him. I think Amelia coming in so late means she doesn't know her best team players. Sasha, she's never watched an Indian match live, a club match live. Right? She has to work with the players made available to her. Sangeeta, what did she do all the games? Ochud, we could go the whole list. Right? If people are talking, what to say? I can see Manisha being a forward in a good team, but she needs to work a lot on breaking into the box. Can't be dribbling the whole game. Sasha, she's not as forward. She doesn't have the skills. She doesn't have the intuitivity to be in those slots, in those positions. Right? That is the problem with her. She's an attacking player. She's a good winger. She's got a good build. She's got good physicality. She's got a good shot, but she doesn't have the knack of knowing where to stand in the box and try to score goals. I don't see that. right? Because that's what Amelia tried to do with her. Didn't work. Now some hype on 23 for Thai nation. Because that's the job, Raj, right? The problem is of Indian football is that there is a whole community of people who just hype things for the sake of hyping, and some people just love it. And then when we lose, then they'll give abuse and all that kind of stuff. It's no point. We need to wake up to the realities of our football, you know. And so therefore, that's the reality. Javier Joachim Alexanderson, 21. I rate him highly, Hitesh. But again, what is he going to do? He's done his utmost by qualifying both the under 17s and under 20s for the Asian Cup. Can he do more? I don't know. The previous match was Japan, which didn't get single ball. Yeah, but if you don't get a single ball, what do? You just wait? Our players were just watching and jogging, says Raj. Hey, Neil. The problem is that this is a level of quality, right? If we're going to play against Chinese Taipei, Vietnam, others, they're better than us. And we need to wake up to that reality of that they're being better than us, right? And not blindly thinking, oh, we can do this, we can do that. No, we can't. We are not in that position or having that quality, right? I think that is what today, for me, showed the most was there's a lack of quality at the end of the day, right? We can challenge a team maybe for 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes, you know, and, yeah, so that's the thing. At USD's U17 will defeat Lebanon. Hitesh, how do you know we will defeat Lebanon? How do you know that? Right? That match has to be played. I think the FA needs to develop a style of play that suits our players physically, culturally, technically, and tactically, like Austria has done for years. Right? So I think for India to have a style of play and then try to fix to it, let's say you have a certain style of play, and which is geared up for the Northeastern players. That will not suit, uh, uh, will not be suitable for the Punjabi players. But there might be a different style which suits the, let's say, Bengali players, but it suits maybe the Goan players. It might suit the Malayali players. Style of play is very nice. We have to create a basic understanding of what we want to think, uh, uh, how do we improve? And the question is of our style of play depends on the players available to us. That's the other thing. We are not creating players for a certain style. Big footballers are trolling us for Japan 11 and Scotland and the world love. Raj, forget that. I think we have not lost today because of quality, but because of giving silly goals and unfortunate. Tiger Rose, sorry, we lost because of quality. Of course, we lost because of quality. Chinese Taipei is better than us, period. There's no point of discussion, right? If silly goes this and that, again, Panthoy also saved a few, no? Well, now OCI players are more than Hitesh, nothing happening. The government is doing blah blah and has not done anything on the matter. Our prime focus should be grassroots coaches and referees education. Would you send your kid to a school which doesn't have good teachers and of course the physique? What this you won't succeed in international. Exactly. Look at the frames of our players and the young players you're talking about. I don't want to talk about height. All in all, matches against Vietnam, I believe we could at least have scraped a draw, but bad composure on the ball and decision making lost us a chance. And as for Japan, it was against a galaxy of talented stars. There was no hope there. The Wesian, yeah, I agree that we could have scraped somehow a draw. But if we want to talk about quality, then the quality from our side was not there against this opponent. Amelia CV got destroyed. No, Raj. I mean, she came in here and she knew what she did. So, yeah, she will get her job. She says, I don't worry about her. Philippines routine out in spite of most players from this. Who says they're out? Hitesh, they're in. They're in the quarters, right? They are with Uzbekistan, the third ranked team. The two best ranked third place teams with Uzbekistan. Vietnam is out. The quarterfinals say South Korea versus Uzbekistan, Japan versus Philippines, China versus Chinese Taipei, and Australia versus North Korea. 14th, 13th, 14th, 15th of March, Perth, and then Sydney. Wow. Yeah. Crazy matches. Harpreet Panther, I think she has been the best player in this tournament. Yeah. Tiger Rose, was the best Indian player for us. Grassroots coaches are the backbone of football development, yet they've been neglected for years. Other countries have moved forward while we are still operating with outdated Stone Age systems. Neil, to be honest, we didn't have grassroots 20 years back, right? The AFC, with its Vision Asia program, came over and started off, so to say, grassroots in India, right? Reality. And we've not evolved. And that's independent of the discussion of I League, ISL, whatever we've had. Will Amelia leave? No idea, man. Our players lack sports education. Yeah. Whichever government may be, they just don't care for sports. Forget football. Nothing is going to happen. OCI case, leave it for the next 10 years. Let's see, Raj. What? We lost? It seems like it. Lakshya, yes, we did. Australia, women has no chance. Okay. Last year, we were playing regularly against Uzbekistan, constantly competing against them, getting good results. And today, we have been humiliated. Uzbekistan qualified to knockouts. Sujal, never compare a friendly match with a competitive game. Look at the way Uzbekistan yesterday took apart Bangladesh. And Bangladesh most probably would have competed against last year against them in a friendly. The football stadiums in Australia are good, yeah, because these are um, A-League level stadiums. I think we also need to raise that no one is giving up an EU passport, an Indian passport. The quality of life that follows is not even comparable. So we give up an EU passport. Yes, Sasha, there would be people. I know people are willing to give up their European passports, UK passports, US passports to play for India. Football, don't come with your logic of quality of living. Um, Ryan Williams, once he's done, can always get back his Australian passport, which he will most probably. What do you think of Pamela Conti? Is she a high profile coach? It is, yes, she is. Pamela Conti is a high profile coach, and let's see what she can do. OCA can happen because of Commonwealth. Aman, I don't think it'll happen because of Commonwealth, rather the Olympics. We like sports culture, period. Yeah, Neil, I think that is the big point. I think that India lacks sporting culture, and that was exposed brutally in this tournament. It was exposed brutally in the AFC Asian Cup. It is brutally exposed in every sporting competition. Look at the Olympics, where India stands. And it's something which, if I like or not, these are some of the things. And again, we cannot, you know, get out of this without doing the right things. Do you think our only hope is OCIPA on football? Because I don't think AIFF cares about improving our football. Tiger Rose, if the AIFF care or don't, that's not the question. The question is who's doing the work at grassroots and youth level. Again, it is, don't put the AIFF has its own share of blame. It has to take its share of the blame. But the clubs, football academies, football schools, football training centers, all of them, right? Have a go at them. What are you producing? Ask this question, to the big ISL academies like a BFC, or Tata Football Academy of Jamshedpur. What are you producing? Ask Ranjit Bajaj that question. Minerva, who talks about this, that, everything. Ask that question to all other academies that are across India. Ask the question of Ranjit about Classic and all that stuff. Most clubs in India that have youth sims playing today aren't doing any development. What they do is call players for a tournament and send them back home after the tournament. Sujal, that is part of the problem because we don't have a yearly system. Simple. That is what needs to be developed at local, at state, maybe at regional level. Few players get seen 100% are forgotten. Yeah, but Sujal, if you are really good, and this is the point to me, if someone is really talented, he or she will still break through. India only has cricket culture and Lakshya Sen and list into funnel of all and open. India doesn't even have a cricket culture, Hitesh. They have a cricket watching culture. If there's corruption and everything, nobody can change it, even if God comes. It exists around the world. There are countries which are most probably more corrupt than India, but their sporting talent still comes through. So it's as sad as it is. The younger me would have always said, "Oh, corruption is the big stumbling block." No, it is one of the stumbling blocks, but it's not the only one. All in all, it's over now. This was a horrendous campaign, and I hope both our players' injuries are not serious. See you later. On. Thanks, Vajan. Yeah, that was horrendous. The crash between Panthoy and Sweetie, and especially if you looked at Panthoy's cheek, which was swollen up like this, didn't look good, and Sweetie also down. She'd given already, you know. So therefore, for me, yeah, that's the thing. It's a shame that we can count residential academies in India on fingers, and the funny part is that there is no intention from anywhere to do anything about grassroots. Such residential academies are a nice thing to have. I need to get to again. Residential academies are a bonus if I can have them. If I can have a system where my kids are staying at home and playing football, enjoying their football, even better. I don't need residential programs. That's not the need, right? I need the kids to play football. And the more kids are playing football throughout the year, that's the most important thing. Our sports culture is still danda and goal in cricket. Maybe we had some culture 50 years back, but 90% of Asia, then also had no culture back in pre-60s. Barely 10 nations take football serious then. Yeah, and that's the big problem. Our success in the 50s and 60s built on why other nations didn't play. Japan's system they've employed only for 2026 is one we could follow for our youth. North, South, East, South, West champions meet for a national championship. That's would give the players a lot of games. Sasha, the question is, I'm not playing at regional, local level enough. The the national level competition is not my problem. I need to enhance the local level and I need to enhance quality, right? I can't just say, oh, listen, I'm playing 40 matches for the sake of playing 40 matches, 30 of those matches, I don't even need to exert myself. Therefore, I need quantity, but I also need quality. Sweetie worked very hard, we could not follow it. No, all her efforts. No, we can't. Sweetie tried her best, kept the defense together as much as he could. Same can be said about Banto in goal, right? There's only real culture now in the country. Yeah, Neil, that's another problem, right? Social media has not helped. Social media, in my opinion, should have been something which should have helped Indian football, but it hasn't. And that is the sad part of where we today are. And yeah, disappointing end to this campaign for India. Despite, yeah, there was a chance, there was a hope, I would have said, to do something, but we couldn't, right? And therefore, for me, I don't know. I don't know how and when we will be able to change things for the better. But these are realities. These are realities of where we stand. And yeah, people don't want to hear the reality. That's the sad part, right? They rather would want to be fooled, and now people will show fake anger. Yeah, this is where we stand. And I said yesterday in the live watch along, sorry, not watch along in the Twitter space that yeah. So yeah. Reminds me of Tom Byer and his thoughts on how football starts at home. One aspect of grassroots hurt he was to be in India before as a start, but things didn't go well. Prithviraj, Tom could have given some again. People like Tom coming and saying what needs to be done is nice, but who's going to implement it? We faltered in Indian football in implementation level. Even the ISL, there's a lot of things that could have been done which weren't done. So can Indian billionaire try to improve and invest in grassroots in football? Tigers, why would they? So they could, they would, should, but do they? No, they don't. Anju Tamang was a big miss for this side. Hitesh, yeah, surely were a miss, but again, what impact would she have had? I don't know. Maybe with Jagmohan Dalmia. I had no idea. But again, a one-man show cannot change it. Base Clan B school leagues at district level where schools play throughout the year and the weekends, and then winners of each district playing in a FA Cup like system sustainable. So, schools across India will not even entertain this. So, therefore, this idea of school football, this, what needs to be done, blah, blah, whatever, nice, great. But school football is, in my opinion, not the way forward. We need to look at the clubs, academies, football schools, football training center model. That's the way forward. Schools, our system of schools and colleges is not supportive of sport. And as long as the curriculum is not changed to support sport, this is a nice thing to think about. But we're not a Japan or a Korea or a United States where school sports or college sports or university sports are such a focus. I agree with Pruthi Raj. Tom is one of the major reasons Japan gas proof was so successful. Saying what works in one country doesn't work in another. Yeah, but again, Tom had come in, Tom had given advice, no one listened. He went home, nothing happened. Manipur is a sporting state, is producing footballers, boxers, weightlifters, cycling, even hockey players, but not athletes. Okay, there's schools across India doesn't have football fields and coaches. That's another problem, Palash. Very good point. I think that match was very depressing, like men playing with kids. Yeah, but Tiger was, I said beforehand, and I was, I was questioned because I said, listen, we will concede 9 to 20 goals. And I think 15, 16 was possible, realistically, right? 0 to 35 just speaks a language. Parents in Europe routinely travel, invest time, and spend money to get their kids into training and trials. How many parents in India can just do the same? Can or want is also Neil. AFCON 2025, 2 out of 3 players born in Europe. OCI is the only way to go, but our OCI pool is also too shallow. It's not shallow. It's still good enough to be better. So disappointed with the AIFF Imagine players' performance. Manvir, why? What did you expect? I expected 3 losses and we got 3 losses. Yeah, curriculum is a problem, but sir, why I want schools to be involved is because parents in India would never allow their kids to be involved more football than studies. Sujal, even via school, they will not be allowed. I've seen that myself. So this idea about school is a Bayern win today versus Atalanta. Will you do watch along? No, Manvir, I'm not doing a Bayern watch along tonight. Yeah, I'll be watching. We're a billion people country. Surely we can find more talent than outside. Yes, of course, a lot still needs to be done to develop. Sasha, the push will come from outside. It will not come from inside. I mean, you've now lived abroad. You now, I guess, understand that as well. I think that the push will come. So, yeah, Manchester City is an overrated club. I don't know why we'd say that. India won Chinese Taipei 3. That's the end of the AFC Women's Asian Cup 2026 campaign for Team India. Um, it means that India are bottom of Group C. To sum it up, Japan 17 to 0 goals, 9 points. Chinese Taipei 4 to 3 goals, 6 points. Vietnam 2 to 6 goals, 3 points. And India no points, 2 goals for 16 against. So that sums up Group D. Group C, sorry. Group A saw South Korea top the group ahead of Australia with a 1 goal more scored, both on 7 points. Philippines, the third place team to make it from that group. China win all their games, the defending champions. North Korea on 6, Uzbekistan on 3, sorry. They've all qualified. And Group C, Japan and Chinese Taipei qualified because Vietnam suffer a too big loss to Japan. And Man City is the most dominant club past 5 years. Yeah. That's the reason why today most of the players in the system are players on background because football is not just a passion for them, but a way to get a better life. Sujal, it is, but again, you know what? There are a lot of players nowadays also who are from better backgrounds playing in the IWL, in the ISL, in the I League as well. Okay. Can Liverpool win against Galatasaray? Yeah, they should. I'm not disappointed. This was what this was expected. Neil, I agree with you. You know, uh, so to me is yeah. what to say. I think even expecting something uh, doesn't make sense. So for me, um, as I said with the men's, 0 points is what I expect. Anything more is a bonus. We scored 2 goals, especially today's goal from Manisha Kalyan. Excellent. But hey, the other my locality just beside my house, someone has started a high school. The land is barely 0.09 acre in a cramped alley lane, a high school with no playing ground, reality of most Indian schools. Paulus, that is something. In the past, you used to have or used to were forced to have a ground. This doesn't exist anymore. Some people were commented to make ISA commented each club should play with 5 points. What do you think? I mean, yeah, most probably it would be. Do you think we can improve better despite our defects, like perform better? No. Tiger was, it'll be a little up and little down. But again, if you think that if the IWL was held properly, if the team had received more exposure, what would he have done? Right? I don't know. It just says a billion people doesn't mean anything if we don't have any football culture and infra. Why do you think Africa, who have nationalities, why lose African born players lose to Europe born? Ichi, this born, that born, um, you know, um, infra is not the problem. To me, infra, the worst, the infra, um, yeah. So it is the way it is, and it's is if you're talented, you're gonna make it through. And we're not. I've not seen that level of talent in Indian football over the years, to be very honest. And that's the reality, right? So I don't know where we can move up and sort out those problems. We'll do watch now India 20 matches in Japan, Australia, Taipei. Hitesh, not sure. Let's see what is it. Do you think ground is just excuse? I think Rio de Janeiro, Brazil boys play in street if they want. Listen, if they play on street, Neymar will tell you they used to play on those concrete grounds in the favelas. Listen, infrastructure is not a problem. India has better infrastructure than most countries around the world. Infrastructure is not the problem. It is about the talent. It is about, again, what is it? About the players, about the coaches, and the leagues, the competitions. Yeah, those are the things, right? So grassroots youth is not about those things. When is U20 next month, Aman? Even if OCI do come, then it's basically us depending on other countries to provide footballers to us. For 5 years, we may be very good. Next 5 years, you might be worst. No, Sujal, if it once starts, it doesn't stop. Look at countries like Philippines, who started their origin players program, what, 2011? They're still there. If you start once with overseas players, look at Algeria, Morocco. I remember Algeria started playing in them in 2000, I don't know, 2007, 8, you know? So therefore for me, yeah, it is the way which we can be better. Even Japan schools have sand ground and play on concrete infrastructure. Exactly. The biggest problem is that we need to talk about our coaches and people owning and running those football training centers, academies, and clubs. Those are the ones that we should be gunning for their heads and say, you need to do better. No development of football in Kashmir. Who says that, Hitesh? I mean, out of blue, name a state, oh, they don't know what. If they're done, no? Otherwise, we wouldn't have had an Ishfaq or a Miraj, Arun Malhotra in those days, and now the other players coming through, right? And with that, I'll slowly come to an end of this quite a long watch along. It's, yeah, disappointing, but again, as I would have said, expected. India suffered a 1-3 loss to Chinese Taipei and are out of the AFC Women's Asian Cup. But not only that, India misses out on the opportunity um, to qualify for the FIFA Women's World Cup. And I said that yesterday in the Twitter space, you know, that I don't think we deserve to be at the World Cup because we're not good enough to be there. So why YouTube? Ichi, what other platform should I use? At least each town center has one or two grounds in India. The problem is how you utilize those grounds. Exactly. And forget town center or suburbs or this or that. We have enough grounds. Grounds is not the problem. And the quality of grounds is not the problem. There are parts of the world where you don't have proper grounds, where you don't have goals, where you don't even have a football, and they still play football. So these are some of the realities that we need to accept and we need to be better in. And with that, I'll end this live. Not sure. Might try and do a live later on today. Otherwise, I'll catch you tomorrow. Um, yeah, that's it. Bye, and I'll catch you later.